Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GBYWN Australia podcast. I am your host, Aston Crude, 11 times heavyweight champion. Not sure if people are aware of that by now. I've said it a few times, I think, but 11 times heavyweight champion. Since 1999. I was 12 years old, and I was a heavyweight champion. Anyway, forget all that. This is not about me, although I wish it was, because I really like it when things are about me. Here today, part 2, with my interview with Rockstar Alex Stone. And Alex, thank you for being back here with us.
No worries.
And today we're talking about WZWA.
Awesome.
Probably your most prominent part of your backyard wrestling career. Such a convoluted story.
Yeah.
So, when did you first hear about WZWA?
I'm pretty sure I first heard about WZWA as a lot of the ICW West guys, when we found out that there was some stingy trampoline fed in the northern suburbs, and they were like, "Yeah, we do backyard wrestling as well. Let's do stuff together." And then I found out that they were going to do like a showcase match, the same like at one of our shows, and I was like, "Cool, awesome." And I think it was I heard the podcast like say who's in it and stuff like that, but I think it was Luke Monet, Jack Wallace,
Antilicus, and Rex Regum, and Acid was there just before we all got there.
Yeah.
And J7 Bloodstone.
Yeah.
He joined just as they got the ring. But,
yeah.
You know, the originals were Antilicus. Oh, well, Lowe and Tim were technically the originals.
Yeah. But it was like a 4-way or a tag match between those four, I think it was.
Yeah.
The first, like, the showcase.
Actually, no, that was Jack versus Antilicus.
Oh, yeah.
The rematch.
Yeah. So, Jack versus Antilicus, and I just remember them bringing the fucking house down. Everyone in the crowd was like, "Oh my god! What? Holy shit!"
Like,
and it was just
we
awesome.
Didn't expect any. I mean, I didn't know anything. I hadn't seen any trampoline stuff.
Not at all.
But everyone was like, "Oh, this is a trampoline fed and Molo."
Because like people just thought, "Oh yeah, trampoline fed. We're the better ones because you know we take bumps properly. You know, la di da di da. We're not jumping on trampolines and looking all gay and stuff like that, bouncing up and around and stuff." So, like, we'd expect much of them, and I'll straight out say that. I'm sure everyone at ICWS would say that.
Yeah.
So, to see them do stuff where it was out of their comfort zone, on a base, bumping properly and all that sort of stuff, we were blown away. It was awesome.
They're pulling off like, when Antilicus did the Antilla Crusher.
Yeah.
Like, the spinning, you know, suplex into a whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, I've never actually seen that before. I've seen someone do a Falcon Arrow, which is just a suplex into the slam, but I've never seen anyone do like the whole spinning around, and it's just... Yeah. I was just like, they're pretty talented. The psychology of the match wasn't there at all, but they were pulling off great moves.
Gotcha.
You know? And, you know, this is the first time they've actually wrestled on a flat serve.
Yeah. And, I think they just instantly... They walked in there with... You know, I'm pretty sure they all had like a kind of chip on their shoulder. They were like, "Yeah, okay, we know we're good, and we're here to prove." Exactly like we talked about in part 1, the Rising Star Cup.
Yeah.
Like we were all there going, "We need to prove ourselves to these guys." Exactly what WZWA did to ICWS.
I'm just not sure at the time they were aware of who was who and how long certain people were doing it. So I was watching the match back with Antilicus and Jack and a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I was giving them pointers.
Yeah.
This was, you know, and I think a young little Jacob was kind of like looking at me like, "Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Who's this old guy who's fucking telling me what's what?"
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not just the referee for the main event, I'm also a wrestler.
Yeah.
But, because I think they got there after my match, but, you know, I think eventually they got to know who I was.
Yeah.
The next thing, I guess, that takes place is that do you find out from Facebook that they're getting a ring built?
Yep. Like I said, like everyone else, I'm pretty sure I found out at the same time. They know about it. We were talking shit, and we were like, "They're getting a ring? What the fuck? They're building a ring? Like, what the hell?" And, like, then something happened. I wasn't really paying attention, to be quite honest. I never really do on the threads, even to this day. And I saw, "Yep, cool, we're going to join forces. We're going to become the new WZWA. Everyone's going to kind of jump ship. Stay with ICWS," which was supposed to happen, but it never actually did.
Yeah.
But everyone was going to jump ship and join WZWA as a new roster. And, as soon as I heard about the ring, I was like,
"Oh, well, you'd love to wrestle in a ring."
Yeah, like, that was my dream when I was a little kid, I was
Me
like,
too, man.
yeah, I want to be in a ring.
And to think I fulfilled my dream wrestling the midday fucking rocker.
God damn it. Whereas I get to fucking fulfill my dream wrestling Dan Zeppelin. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, which was awesome. But
So you find out soon after I'm in charge. I mean, I feel like, you know, I just said this to Ryan the other day. I've said this question 3 times this week now. I'm in charge of WZWA all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Were you privy to any of the turmoil going on between Jack and Chris before I joined, or were you just ignoring it?
I didn't care a single bit for him. Because, like, no
You know
offense.
they were teenage.
No, yeah, exactly. No offense to them, but, like, they were teenagers, and I have this whole mentality when people argue that, like, they need to leave their high school drama behind, kind of thing, and that's what I feel like they were doing. They were just blowing things way out of proportion, and that's when I just shut them off.
It was like, I hate you, I wish you were dead.
Yeah.
Kind of. I
It's
mean, not
like-
exactly that, but kind
Yeah,
of.
but that kind of, like, vibe was coming off, and so I didn't pay attention to it at all. I just kind of was like, I'm going to shut everyone out and just do a match in a ring. And if it doesn't go from there, like, if I just get that one match, that's fine
At
with
least
me.
you did it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my idea. I didn't really care about the politics or, like, who's in charge. And I just wanted to be in the ring. Yeah.
So during this time, yes, I take charge, and
Mhm.
obviously I don't remember exactly everything, but I must have pitched to you what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you pitched me as soon as you found out that you were going to be like in charge of booking and stuff like that. You pitched me an idea that it was like the early makings of a full idea that you wanted for us as like a tag team and what was going to happen down the road and all that sort of stuff. But all that was like set in stone was, hey, me and you are going to be a tag team. You're going to be like a kind of protege for me, and I'm going to build you up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I jumped at the chance. First of all, I was like, yes, that sounds cool, because I guess first of all, to be able to work with someone such as you know, like such a star as you. I mean,
yes.
I mean, first of all, I feel like I get a lot of experience doing that because like you've done it for so long, and I'd be able to get so much information out of it. Second of all, I'd been in ICW West then for about nearly 2 years, or going on 2 years, and I didn't really have a stable storyline at all. But you came in straight away and you said, I have this storyline that could last us for like a year, probably even longer. And I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Straight away, I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. You have a plan for me, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I was dead set keen from the start.
Well, yes. I mean, I don't know if you remember this. Maybe I didn't even mention it to you, but my initial pitch was after I destroyed the Radical Movement, I was to end up turning heel and form my own heel group. I don't know how that makes any sense at all after being the vigilante that does all the good things, but I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. My initial Elite Alliance was me, you, Knuckles, Mykonos in ICWS.
I remember that.
But that didn't end up coming to be. So I thought, well, I still want to do this Elite Alliance thing.
Yeah.
I keep having this thing in my head, Elite Alliance, Elite Alliance, Elite Alliance. So I was like, well, okay, now I'm in charge of WZWA. I'm going to do this Elite Alliance thing.
Mm.
So the initial idea was, you know, just like Dan didn't welcome me into the ICWS, I'm not welcoming him into the WZWA.
Yeah.
So what better way than to, for the first time, Dan Zeppelin versus Alex Stone at, I believe it was Road to Ruin, 2012. Same show that we saw Dark Ice and Ryan tape for the first time. That's right, I was giving people the first matches that they ever saw of two people face. It was great. But you and Dan Zeppelin, solid match. Wasn't an all-out match like I know that you guys could have had, but it was just a bit of a taste of what could be to come. But hey, great debut match against Dan Zeppelin. I'm the special referee. That super kick to Dan Zeppelin, and then me raising your arm up, and we form the Elite Alliance.
Yeah. I think that's when I knew that I was... Because all the time before then, I always thought of backyard wrestling as a hobby. And I mean, I still kind of do to this day. But as soon... You pitched me the idea, and I was like, cool, yeah, awesome, that sounds cool to me. But as soon as it actually happened, I was like, cool, I'm in this for the long run. This is going to be so much fun. People are, like, we got the reaction that we wanted, we got boos, we got all this sort of stuff, like, awesome. I mean, like, I was...
We got booze or booze?
Probably both. Like, I mean, like, I was a heel in ICWS, but, you know, it was always the same sort of stuff. I'd always have the kind of people that would just kind of give me, like, smart-ass remarks. Whereas, like, when we did the thing where you super kicked Dan, you raised my hand, we actually got genuine, like, heat sort of thing. It was, like, a proper kind of, like, heel reaction. And I was like, yes, that's awesome. So, from then on, I was like, I'm in it. This is going to be sick.
The question I want to ask you is, did you ever feel any hate from anyone that you're my chosen guy?
No, never.
No one ever made any...
No, no one...
Oh, you're Aston's, little project or whatever.
Because I like, if it ever came up, I could see... not that I could see where they were coming from, but like, I'd understand it in a sense if they were to come up to me and say, like, oh, you're getting everything kind of like handed to you. But no one ever came up to me and treated me that way. They were like, I kind of guessed they saw it in me too. And they kind of would see, like, you were trying to build me up.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of what other people wanted to see at the same time. Because they saw that I had potential, so they wanted me to kind of get a bit more experience and then build up to the point where I could, get to where I was as my high point. So, I never had a single person come up to me and treat me like I was, like, the golden child kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Alex was my guy. You were going to be my guy for, at the start, obviously you're going to be built up, and then once it was time, then it will be me and you. Which would be 18 months down the line.
Yeah.
But during this time, there is a bit of turmoil going on behind the scenes. People aren't happy with what's going on because people fear change, I feel.
Yeah.
And because a lot of the guys, like a Rex Regan, like a Jack Wallace, I don't know if Jack was really that passionate. I think Jack and I were alright, but Regan and a few others weren't happy because I was now in charge and things were going to go my way. And, if you didn't like it, then there will be problems.
Yep.
Like, Rex lost his first few matches because he was a bit of a prick to me on the internet. There was a time when people were going behind my back to talk to Eli and DJ about getting me overthrown as Booker.
I remember that.
And I was just like, this is ridiculous. They haven't even given me, 5 shows. At least give me 5 shows to prove to you where I'm going. And where I was going was putting the belt on me because I can cut a promo. I could have put the belt on you, but I didn't want to because it's not time yet. It's not time for Alex Stone to be heavyweight champion. Let him win the Backyard Championship, build his way up as a upper mid-card heel. And then once you saw that I was making Brian Lowe the underdog that would eventually overcome the odds and beat me, that's what the payoff was in the end. But at the time, people didn't understand that.
On that, I just feel... First of all, I feel Jack Wallace was heavily influenced. Like, people told him stuff, and then he'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, yeah, no, yeah, you're right, yeah, no, I should be in charge, this is my house, yeah. Which, fair enough, but, I mean...
It was his Fed and it was his house.
Yeah, but
I understand.
I have this idea where if you never took over and it stuck to being just Jack Wallace in charge and Chris in charge and all that kind of stuff, they'd kind of be in the same position. I think that the ICWS guys that came in would have left by now, like a year ago, 2 years ago. It would have just been a kind of waste. I feel like nothing would have been done properly. It probably would have just been like... Especially because around that time they were still teenagers. I mean, they're still teenagers now, but they're just naive, kind of not really sure how booking goes. They were booking matches where, like, the things that I'd seen with their trampoline stuff was just, like, spot fest the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Not really story-driven. And that wouldn't have gotten them anywhere. Whereas you step in and you already had this idea for Brian Lowe. You already had an idea for me. You had an idea for everyone that was there. Or at least as far as I know. So that's what kind of kept it going. And, I mean, why wouldn't you put the title on yourself? Like, you're one of the most experienced people in the Fed. That means that you should be at the top. You're the most hated heel in the Fed. Wouldn't you want to try and make yourself even more hated? Which, to the point, got you actual hate for a while. Yeah. Which is exactly what you kind of wanted in a sense. And then do the classic underdog story of dropping it to Brian Lowe.
Yeah.
Which, like, walking into WZWA, no one expected. No one expected. So, I just think I didn't pay attention to all of that. Like, I had Eli and DJ and Jack coming up to me and going like, oh, we're going to try and overthrow Aston. We're going to try and do all this sort of stuff. And I was like, I don't know.
And they'll deny it.
They will, yeah,
but
definitely.
At the time, even Luke Monet denies it now, but I know he was a part of it.
Yeah.
Even though he was nice to me to my face, but, Antilochus wouldn't have felt the same way because he was being built up as another... while I'm doing the thing with you, and I'm doing this thing with Ryan and Mykonos, where they're having these great matches, and it's building Ryan Tate up, and it's helping Mykonos be featured really well. Antilochus didn't lose a match for his first 6 matches since I was in charge. I was building him up as being the guy that makes the Backyard title prestigious.
Yeah.
And he would have been totally cool because I was behind him the whole hardcore superstar thing. As soon as he debuted that character, the next day everyone was like, "It's not you. It's not you. Look at him now, bitch.
That's
Look
the
at him
thing.
now. Maybe I was right. Do you not understand? Maybe I was right."
I remember seeing Antilochus, and exactly like you said before, that it felt like they didn't know who they were. And as soon as Antilochus came out with that hardcore superstar persona, ever since then he's just taken what you've given him and built on it, which is exactly what he needed. And it's worked out for him in the best of ways.
And now look at him, like everyone says Antilochus is my favourite. Antilochus plays his character so well now.
Antilochus is
the
my
day
favourite
after
heel.
he first debuted the character, everyone was like, "It's not you.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be wearing the aviator sunglasses. You shouldn't be wearing the denim jacket. You shouldn't be coming out to Cinderella's fucking bang your head." That was my vision for him, and now look at him. Maybe I do sometimes have shit ideas, but a lot of the time, if I've got a good vision for someone, it's going to work.
Yeah, definitely, and that totally worked. And your vision with Brian Lowe worked completely.
Because it came out of left field.
Exactly.
That's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
It came out of left field. No, he wrestles Yoshiaki, then he wrestles the Great Shinigami, and then the next thing, he's challenging me for the title.
Yeah.
We beat him down. We fucking bust his knee up. And then all of a sudden, everyone fucking loves Brian Lowe.
Exactly.
Wants him to beat me for the championship.
It's like Steel. Steel was like, this awkward little kid that like everyone kind of gave shit to every now and again. And then someone took him under his wing, and like DJ took him under his wing, gave him this opportunity, and put kind of more attention on him. Exactly like Brian Lowe, he got all this attention on him. Everyone fucking loves Steel now.
Yeah, I give DJ all the credit in the world. He came to me and he said, "I'm sick of everyone giving Steel a hard time.
Yeah.
Let me be his manager. Let me take him under my wing." And at first I was like, bit iffy because I wanted DJ to be this heel anti-backyard wrestling character. But then I thought, you know what, go for it, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sometimes I got great ideas, sometimes someone else pitches something, and then I realise, okay, we'll give it a try, and then it does work. And it's like, okay, well now I've got confidence in you the next time you pitch an idea.
Yeah, and I don't think people at the very start understood that you were open to ideas as well. Like, yeah, okay, you're in charge, so you're getting everything ready. But, like, if people had a problem, they should have just come up to you and talked to you.
Just say, "Hey, man, what if we do it like this way?" Instead of being like, "No, I want it like this."
Yeah.
Like, Tim and I had so many blow-ups because he was supposed to win the WZWA title. And I was like, "No, that's not what I want to do."
Yeah.
So he hated me initially when I took over.
Yeah.
He was like, "How can you change all these things that are going on? We had these plans in place. I was supposed to be the champion." He was leaving anyway.
Yeah.
But he still wanted to leave with the championship. And I was like, you're not winning the title and then leaving and then I've got to vacate the belt.
Yeah.
So all these things are happening, man. I had issues with a lot of people, but you and Ryan Tate were very solid with me. Ice was very solid with me. Chaos was cool. And Jacob was cool. Lowe was cool. But everyone else at the time, I'm not actually placing blame on Jack because he and I felt like we're going okay.
Yeah.
But maybe a different story. But everyone else I was having a bit of a problem with.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the rest of that when we get to it. So you debut and you beat Dan Zeppelin.
Yes.
Elite Alliance form. Let's get into Access All Areas. I
Cool.
believe the following show was Hardcore Hell.
Yes.
Was it? Yes, it was. And we did a little Access All Areas where we you interviewed me,
Yeah.
and we debuted our team properly.
Mm-hmm.
I mistakenly came out in my Michael Jackson jacket,
Yeah, I remember that.
and all I kept getting was pedophile
Yeah.
chants, which wasn't very nice,
No.
considering I was older and a lot of guys were very younger, so that's not a very good
No.
visual. But hey, good little segment. First,
Yeah.
access all areas, and was it your idea to have access all areas? Did you want to have a talk show? Or was it I that pitched it to you?
I think we both came to the conclusion of it, because I remember I kept on talking to you about how I wanted more promos, sort of thing. I wanted... Because I wanted to do those internet kind of promos every now and again, but I wanted to actually get in the ring once every show and kind of just talk. Because I feel like I could talk and get shit the whole time. And then you were like, why don't we do like a Piper's Pit or a highlight reel or something like that sort of style thing. And we could do like... I think it was either me, you, or Monet that came up with the idea of Access All Areas. Like, that's the name of it. And I think he came up with the artwork for it and stuff like that.
Yeah, he made the artwork.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Do you still have a little tag that you put around your neck? You
No.
must have that.
I think it's at WZWA somewhere.
No, it must be gone now.
Damn it.
Damn.
Because that was awesome. Like, yeah, it was...
You had a little backstage
Yeah.
pass. So fucking cool, man.
It was cool because, like, it got me a chance to do what I love to do, and the main reason that I keep on saying the main reason I like wrestling is because of like the characters and the storytelling and stuff like that. And this gave me a more chance to actually define my character more. Like I got in as a heel, obviously because I was a heel in ICWS, but no one understood why I was a heel. So this gave me more of a chance to kind of talk shit on people, and then you know, and then also gave you a chance to discuss why the EA was starting out and all that sort of stuff. So
the first one was good, but I think Access All Areas was the opportunity. You go out there, I stand in the background, and I let you have the floor. Maybe I'll talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now it's Access All Areas, Alex, take it away. Then you'll do your segment and you'll kill it. And no matter who the guest was, it would still be very entertaining. And I really think that those first Access All Areas with Antilochus, that helped him a hell of a lot as far as character development.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like the idea of it, because I still to this day, I think I posted in the WZWA thread as a question to Ryan Tate's podcast. I was like, do you think it's important for people to do promos? Because I think it's really important.
And he did a really good job at answering that too.
He did. Good on you, Ryan.
That's fucking, that's solid.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I seriously think it's, like, yes, the wrestling's a huge part, but, like, for people to believe your character and get into you more, they need to have something to believe in. So I felt like Access All Areas was a chance for people that didn't really get the opportunity, like Antilochus, to come on and talk and stuff like that. I remember Antilochus coming up to me and said, like, because he was so nervous about talking, he was like, oh, I've got like an English accent, and I don't know if people are going to make fun of it because, you know, I don't talk too much and they haven't heard it too much and all this sort of stuff. I was like, dude, just go out and have fun.
Talk.
Just have fun with me, okay? We're going to do awesomely.
Just be natural. If this was you...
Yeah.
If this was you in this situation, what would you say?
Exactly, yeah.
But when you say it as your character and turn up the volume a little bit. You know, this isn't just Jacob. This is Antilochus. Who's Antilochus?
Yeah.
Show us who Antilochus is.
Exactly. Like,
and I know he was very nervous, and people were fucking heckling him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, afterward, I gave everyone a bit of a lashing. It's like, dude, it's his first fucking promo.
Yeah.
Let him talk.
Yeah, he was... But the second time that I got him on, because we got him on the first time, and then we got him the second time when he was a heel, and I was the champion. I mean, we'll get to that later on and stuff, but the second time he was a heap more confident.
Yeah,
it was totally different. Yeah,
killed it.
Like me and him were having a little laughs in the ring and stuff like that, but it was more because we were like, "This is awesome. We've got gold right here." So, yeah,
I was glad that we were able to come full circle with
Yeah.
Access All Areas just before you went away. So with Access All Areas, I'm just going to skip forward a little bit because there was one Access All Areas that I think made you a little bit uncomfortable. It was Wham Bam Body Slam.
Okay.
I was only able to come after I finished work, where we were going to main event in a tag match against the Rebellion. Excuse me. You had an Access All Areas with JD Flame and Phaser.
Yeah, that's right.
What went wrong? Did I not give you the right instructions going into that?
I don't actually know. It was like the first real, look at the team. It was the first real look at Phaser that we got, because it was like the second event that he was at, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess there wasn't really. I think it was a miscommunication of like what was supposed to happen and stuff like that. And I guess since I didn't know what I was supposed to do, I kind of let them run wild and just like, you know what? Here's the mic. You guys talk. I'm going to step back.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't too sure what was going on.
Because you were heel and they healed on the heel.
Yeah.
And then when you got back to me, you let me know what happened. I was like,
Yeah.
They were supposed to like you because
Yeah.
you're a heel, and it was supposed to be a big celebration. JD Flame's here with his new protege, Phaser, his new tag partner.
Yeah.
Phaser, you know.
I think Phaser didn't really know what was going on. I think Phaser was a bit confused with what his character was. I think he knew he was supposed to heel, but I think he thought he was one of those heels that was like, I'm better than everyone.
Maybe
even
he
if
wasn't
you're a
privy
heel.
to the fact that you had been an established heel for the previous, 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, which is fair enough for a new person coming in. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's awesome on the mic. I mean, every now and again, like, no offense to the guy, but people give him so much like love and adoration for his stuff on the mic. When I feel like some of his mic work is just him going like, "Oh, yeah, that's a fucking cunt right there," and all that sort of swear. Like, yeah, he's good, but he can work on it a bit more.
And he needs to cut out the swearing.
Yeah.
You don't have to swear to make your point.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I feel like if it wasn't a very kind of back and forth thing between like a heel versus heel sort of thing, and if it was like heels, like you said, celebrating, it would have gone down way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Well, I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I just thought of it just then.
Yeah.
So okay, let's finally fucking we're fucking getting we're 27 minutes, almost 27 minutes into it, and we haven't even got to your second fucking match yet. Okay, we worked against a franchise, our first ever tag team match, Hardcore Hell 2012.
Yep.
Fucking good match.
It was a good match.
I got to wrestle, Jack and Luke soon after I joined, and I thought it was a really good tag match.
Yeah.
Helped further their feud.
Yeah.
Helped establish us as a team.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of us as a team initially?
I liked it because I felt, first of all, I felt like you put a lot of faith in me, which was cool because obviously I already felt that coming in because you wanted to be in a team with me, so I was like, cool, awesome, that's good enough. But like you let me have some spotlight for quite a bit of the match, which was cool because like pretty sure your whole attitude to the idea was try to put everything on me to make me look good, kind of thing, which was awesome. So I love being in a team with you and just doing that real heel crap the whole time. And we both had a similar style character, cocky, like Rockstar.
That's why I was the only word I'm thinking of is attracted. That sounds wrong. That's why I was. What's the word?
Detracted. No, you were like I get it. Like
you know what I mean? Like that's why I thought because we're just so similar.
Yeah.
As a character.
Yeah.
So I think it really played off well as a tag team.
Yeah, I think we had the same ideas for a lot of things as well, which was kind of cool. Like I'd tell you something and like you'd react to it straight away.
You'd come up with an idea and you'd see the light bulb turn on above my head.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that made me feel good because
I would say something to you and you'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even remember us ever disagreeing on something.
Never. Absolutely never.
It was always like someone had an idea and they'd be like, actually, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jesus, why don't we just give each other hand jobs?
I'm sure if we could, we would have.
We would have, definitely. I was in love with you at the time.
But, yeah, on that match as well, it was a heap of fun. I'll be dead honest, I didn't like working with Jack at that point too much. I feel at that point, he was a bit intimidated by us.
I felt it too because I came out when you tagged me in for the first time and he shied away from everything I did.
Yeah.
And you can watch at the next show when I wrestled him for the title. I'm doing a knees to the gut. He's he's like he's all cagey. And holding back from me touching him and stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just inexperience.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Like we're bigger dudes. I mean like that's kind of what you're gonna do. I bet like I've heard Ryan in his podcast and other people in their podcast say like when they first had to wrestle like Ice or Chaos or when they saw them they were like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like, oh shit. Like when I'd been doing it for years. When I first wrestled Ice and Chaos, I was like, oh, I got to step up my game.
Yeah, exactly. So, but on the other hand, as soon as I got in the ring with Luke, I fell in love.
Magic.
Like, yeah.
It's magic. I've
Luke's...
never had a singles match with that dude, you know? I've never had a singles match with him.
It better happen soon.
It
Okay?
will.
Because
one day it will.
Because, like...
Just can't line it up. Even through the whole franchise, EA, if you'd never had a singles match with him.
I don't know. There's something about him that I just have so much fun wrestling with him. Like, and, like... He's gonna absolutely love hearing this, but like he's probably one of my favorites.
He's got his cock in his hand right
he
now.
He does.
You hadn't even started the sentence, and he'd already pulled it out and put it in his hand. It was already hard.
Yeah, he heard his name and he was like half chump. Like, yeah, I mean he's one of my favorites to watch, and as soon as like getting in with him, we just gelled instantly, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. I loved working with him. And, like, obviously it's going to come later, but, like, you know, every time I had an encounter with him, it was always gold. And he was just so much fun to wrestle. So, yeah, it sucked. Like, I knew that in my head the whole time, I was like, Jack Wallace just has a bit of an experience. I guess Luke was more confident out of the two.
I don't even know how that happened, because when I first took over, and I'm sorry that I keep going on these tangents and interrupting you, but... He wasn't confident. He'd never even taken a suplex before because he didn't like flipping over his head.
Really?
He didn't like it. And he'll agree. He knows.
Yeah, that's insane.
But, I gave him a German suplex in the match. I'd never done one before, but I was straight away confident that he could take it right.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. And they worked really well together as well. And, I really had a lot of fun in that match. It was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was the first real tag match they had in WZWA. So from there, let's get on to something else. Around this time, Nick James was getting involved with some of our shit, just coming out with us, testing the waters.
Yeah.
Soon after, he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Had you been talking to him a bit at the time? You wanted him... Because I know you pitched him to be a part of the Elite Alliance.
I did. Me and him... Around that time... Me, him, and my girlfriend at the time, we were all hanging out, because they used to be in the same year at high school and stuff like that, so they knew each other, and we'd always run into each other at ICWS, we'd talk like every so me and him got like really, really close. And then when it came to WZWA, his brother was there, and he was like, oh, I'm going to come down to the next event.
He was single as well.
Yeah.
And I think he liked the atmosphere and liked the opportunity to try and, hook up with...
Yeah. Random.
Whoever, I'm not going to mention their names, but there were a couple of girls there that I think he had his eye on.
Yeah, totally.
I think that appealed to him.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
He come out to the ring with us with a can of cougar, so he was ready to party. He wasn't there for wrestling, really.
But he'd always be there, and he'd be like, "Oh, dude, I'm coming down to the event. It'll be awesome to hang out." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you should just be EA's manager. Just fucking come out with us." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, that'll be cool." And it only happened a couple of times. I wish that it actually became a proper thing. That would have been awesome.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to get an EA shirt for him. I wanted him to be the third guy.
Yeah.
And then, eventually Dan will be the fourth guy, but Nick would be a manager. I wasn't going to pressure him to wrestling. Certainly not. But
yeah. And I think, that's the thing, I think he would have worked really, really well if he had the motivation to do it. If he had, the passion that we all had, or the passion that he has now even, kind of thing. I think it would have worked awesomely. It
just seemed to fizzle out.
Yeah.
He did a couple of shows and then he was gone.
Yeah. Or he'd come and he'd be like, nah, no.
Did you ever talk to him about it? Why isn't he coming back at the time?
I kind of understood, in a sense. He was getting more into music, and whenever we talk, it would just be about music. If it was a wrestling thing that we talk about, it would just be like, hey, you're going to the next event, kind of thing. Yeah. So... I kind of felt like, there was no passion there for wrestling anymore. I knew that his brother was heavily into it, obviously, but, I just felt there wasn't anything there for him that he enjoyed. I think he enjoyed the atmosphere, but even then, there were some people there that he didn't enjoy the atmosphere of, and all that sort of stuff, so...
Understood.
Yeah.
I know how it is when you're hanging out with your old mates, but you got these other guys that you got to try and get along with. It's a bit odd for someone, but anyway, bit of a shame with Wicked Nick James. I thought he would have been a great addition to Elite Alliance. If it continued, it would have been awesome. Like, you
Definitely.
didn't even have to cut promos, you just had to be there. To be Wicked Nick James.
And everyone knew who he was, so it just would have been that cool. So, yeah.
Okay, so from there we get to Hostile Backyard Showdown 2012. We are already 35 minutes into this podcast. And
Jesus
we've only
Christ.
got through 2 of your matches. Because we just keep going on tangents.
Yeah.
Can't help it. There's so many things to talk about. But this is your birthday.
Yes, it is.
You do access all areas where you and Monet are asking each other who is the real loudmouth.
Yeah.
Monet thinks he's the loudmouth, you're the loudmouth. He ruins your birthday.
It was my special day.
Your special day, and that is a classic moment. You saying that was supposed to be my special day. Oh man, I was just like hopping the whole time. So take me through that, and obviously the ensuing first ever singles match with you and he. I'm going to have a wee while you talk.
Yeah, of course. So I found out, obviously, while the WZWA was going on in its early days, I found out that there was this loudmouth Luke Monet Dynamo, and he'd always be talking. He'd be the manager of Jack, or 5 at that point, Jack Wallace, and he'd be talking all this shit. I was like, that's my job. I'm going to come into WZWA, and I'm going to take over, and I'm going to be the guy to do that. And then when this whole idea of, like, who's the better loudmouth comes in, I was like, yes, this is going to be awesome. And the whole special day thing was just, like, it wasn't supposed to be as big as it became. It was just supposed to be a fun little, like, oh, yeah, this is, like, oh, it's my birthday, this is the day for me, like, you've ruined it. I was just really, really acting upset. And, yeah, it just somehow came out, and everyone just fucking loved it, which is awesome. But
it was just like at the end of the segment when you after you've been hit with a jarrow kick, you're yelling and screaming, this was supposed to be my special day, and that's exactly what I said when you ruined my wedding.
yeah,
I loved how that came full circle.
Yeah.
That was just so fun. And the ensuing match was pretty cool, but it was just a taste. It was just a taste of what could be to come.
yeah. I mean, it was good fun. Like I said in the tag match, it was good fun wrestling him, because everything that we did, we kind of just, like, clicked straight away. It was my first time to kind of do a lot of, like, bigger moves as well, because he's a smaller guy. I'd never at that point really wrestled a smaller guy other than Ryan Tate, but at the same time, Ryan Tate wasn't, like, he's a smaller guy, but he's, like, a built guy.
He's a bit more built, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Monet's like a feather.
Yeah, exactly. So I could throw Monet around. Like, there was a moment where, like, he went for a crossbody and I caught him, and I was like, I could never do this with anyone else, kind of thing. So it was just that kind of fun thing. I was kind of upset that, like, the way that it finished, I kind of wish that we went through with, like, a full-on kind of finish. But I guess it was to, continue on with the storyline.
It was hard because at the time I was trying to protect you because I was moving you towards Antilochus eventually at Wrestleution, so I didn't want you to lose. But I didn't want Monet to lose again because I don't think he'd won really since I'd taken over as booker. So I was like, well, we're going to have a no contest, unfortunately.
No, that's fair enough.
But I really loved the layering of this storyline. During the tag match, Jack turned on Luke. We're still feuding with Franchise, though.
Yeah.
So, after your match with Luke, Jack and Luke are fighting. I come out to attack Jack because I'm wrestling him in the main event. You're fighting Luke.
Yeah.
And you're also fighting Jack. Jack's fighting Luke. Like, we all hated one another except for me and you, basically. And the end of the segment, if you do remember, was it featured Jack Wallace pulling back and giving poor referee Jacob Sewell the biggest fucking king hit you've ever seen. Tumbles over him. I'm falling over on the entrance ramp with Luke. We're all falling over each other. It was so clumsy, but it's a classic. Yeah. Classic little melee in WZWA.
That's backyard wrestling, though. Like, it's classic.
So backyard wrestling, and even if the pros look at it and think this is fucking shit, to us, that's gold.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want out of the segment. It's funny, but it's also continuing several storylines at the same time.
And, like, that's the thing. Everyone to this day continues to talk about that moment. Yeah. So everyone continues to talk about those moments, like the "it's my special day," la-di-da-di-da. So, like, I mean, yeah, I feel like that match and that promo, and I think we really did a good job. Like, everyone involved.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really good.
Alright, so later that day I win the heavyweight championship.
Yes.
Any quick thoughts on seeing that happen?
I think it was good because I knew that like it was finally like sorry Jack, but I didn't like him as the WZWA champion.
He shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been. Like I understand,
with that initial lineup.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
with all of us coming in.
Yeah, so I think it was
story.
I think it was good, and I think it was like the confirmation that yes, this is actually happening. So it was good to see, and it was good to be a part of it. I know I was there for a bit. I got to celebrate with you and all that sort of stuff. So it was good, and it just made me excited for things to come.
I just want to legitimize the championship a bit.
Yeah.
Because Jack was a bit of a, he hadn't an unproven commodity.
Yeah.
If you could say that. And so I felt like with Jack not having any, pardon me, mic skills, me having a lot, you not being ready to get there yet, I was a perfect person to take over from him. And I enjoyed that moment, winning the title, even though the title wasn't as prestigious at this time as the ICWS Championship or maybe the XCW Championship, but still winning a championship, even though I booked it.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just a work in progress, and it was something that I was working towards to make the belt important. So anyway, we go from there to Revenge. Following show, there's an Access All Areas with Antilochus, where we ask him to join the Elite Alliance because he's doing such a good job as Backyard Champion. He says no. We say, all right, think about it. We'll ask you again at the next show. So I thought that was a pretty cool segment.
Yeah.
But from there, Revenge sees me in the main event against Mike Delcano.
Yes,
so
that's
Delcano makes his debut. I am actually not sure who you wrestled on that show.
I can't remember either, actually.
Revenge. I know you wrestled Delcano at Christmas Carnage.
And I would like to not talk about that, but I know we're going to because,
that's upsetting. Let me just quickly check.
I remember that I was involved in the main event.
Revenge. You did something. Internet doesn't want to work at the moment. Anyway,
let's see if I can get it up as well.
Alex Stone, Revenge, WZWA. I can't believe I can't remember.
Oh, it was fucking.
Oh, it was the EQG.
Yeah.
Moment. Okay, shit. That was like the first match on the show. All right. Okay, let's go over this quickly.
Okay.
All right. So we've screwed over Dan Zeppelin. Now he's wrestled as EQG and taken the mask off after suddenly defeating you within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There was a bit of shit going on behind the scenes with Dan. He had a girlfriend at the time, which was kind of making him not as dedicated to it as he was. And so your thoughts on the situation at hand?
I wish that it went for longer. I mean, it would have been awesome.
It was supposed to be a full match, right?
It was supposed to be a full match, and it was supposed to be like... Because every match that you see with EQG, like I said in the ICWS part, is just a squash match.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be that kind of match where it's not at all. It's a full back-and-forth match, and people are like, what the fuck's going on? Like EQG's actually doing
during this
good.
time, EQG had been wrestling other masked wrestlers on the show, so Dan was still wrestling, but just doing the EQG thing.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, let's put on a good match, and he was like, something happened, and...
He wanted to leave because he had plans to hang out with Hayley all day.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said her name, but it doesn't matter.
So that happened, and I was like, okay, well, let's just go out there and do it.
So he wanted to just beat you within, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Which was, and then he left straight after the match, and I remember you coming over to me either in person or was it on Facebook or whatever, and you said, this is bullshit. Dan didn't even want to have a full match with me, now he's leaving. Why should we bother? Should we really worry about doing this thing with him or not? I think I had a bit of a chat with him, and he was like, I know. I just.
I think, at least from an outsider's point of view, it seemed like just... I don't want to, I hate being that person to do it, but, it just seemed like his relationship at that point in time wasn't very stable.
Oh, so. He will agree. Don't worry about saying anything negative about a late 2012 Dan Zeppelin. He will agree that he was, just trying to be a good boyfriend.
But that's the thing. Like, I'll agree with that as well because I was doing the exact same thing. Like when I was with a certain someone that we all know, like I was doing the exact same thing. I would I'd skip band practices, I'd skip stuff like that just to be with that person. And I look back on it now and I'm like, that was fucking stupid of me. Like, why would I do that? Yeah. So I totally get where he was coming from. At that point in time, I didn't because I was like, I got a 30-second match and I got no kind of it was.
You came all the way from where do you live?
Beachborough,
all the way to Marloo to have a 30-second match. That would piss me off too.
Yeah, I mean,
as if you couldn't stay another 20 minutes to make sure that there was a solid 10 to 12 minute match, so you could look back at it and be like, "Oh, I'm proud of what we accomplished."
I mean, when I look back at it now, I'm like, "Oh, it was a cool idea."
The reveal was great when he took off the mask and it was him, and
yeah,
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Great theme song to come out to. And that was a great reveal, and it continued our storyline very good. Oh shit, Dan Zeppelin's coming after the Elite Alliance, and then he just got one over them. He's not even a contracted wrestler.
Yeah. I think it could have just been done better, but things happen. You can't really do much about it,
and we don't hold grudges.
Exactly.
We have regrets that certain things could have been better than they were.
Yeah.
Like your finish with your match with Luke, but things happened.
Exactly.
All right, so let's skip a bit forward. Okay, so in the main event of Revenge, I defeat Del Cano thanks to your interference.
Mm-hmm.
And the one time you and Del Cano have a match, Christmas Carnage 2012, unfortunately, it is not filmed.
It's not filmed. Probably for the best, because
my match with Del Cano sucked.
No,
and he'll agree.
It's not that. It's like I think Del Cano actually had fun with the match with me. I didn't like it because I was absolutely wasted. I was absolutely drunk.
Drunk?
Yeah, because it was December or it was around Christmas, so we were all chilling out, having fun. There was a heap of people there. To all those people that are listening, we all remember the prostitute. Yeah, it's, I guess, an inside joke.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
Definitely. We all know who the prostitute was.
But so we were all just having fun. I just got a bit too happy with my alcohol before any of our matches. And I got to the point where I was like, oh, that's right, I'm in a match. Oh, that's right, I'm versus Mike Del Cano. He's a really, really
from
wrestler.
my memories, it was a good match.
As far as
I know, he hates that footage is gone.
Yeah.
And that one really hurt, because I had, without a doubt, one of the best impromptu on-the-fly matches I ever had with Brian Lowe in our first encounter.
Yeah.
We were only supposed to go 4 or 5 minutes because of my tattoo that I got.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then because of the flow of the match was so good, we ended up going 20 minutes, and everyone was going nuts.
Yeah.
And to lose the footage of that hurt.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how it felt for you and Mike, the one match you guys ended up getting to have.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, I'm like, it was a good match. There was certain things about it that I wish I did a bit better, but I was very, very intoxicated.
And he was very, very overweight.
Yeah.
In comparison to now. I mean, now he's a fit little bugger, but back then he was Chumbawamba.
Yeah. But I liked it. I liked the... I'm pretty sure I went over in that by giving him a game over off the top rope or something like that. Yeah. So, it was cool because...
just to keep building you.
Yeah, and the cool thing with Del Cano was he's creative in every aspect, and he's creative with not just himself, but his opponent. So he was giving me ideas all over the shop. And, he came up with the whole, okay, I'm going to go and try and do, a top rope move, but you're going to stop me, and then you're going to give me a game over off the top, and that'll be the finish. And I was like, that's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So, I do wish in the span that, we were still in WZWA together, we could have had another match.
Me too.
But at the same time, I got to work with him, not against him, but with him in the Clash of Triads, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we will get to that. Remind me to pop that in when it does come up, because I forgot to type it in. I forgot to mention it to Ryan as well, and Ice. Okay, so, I put you over Del Cano to build you for this Backyard Championship match with Antilochus. So during Christmas Carnage, we do have the access all areas where we give him another chance to join the Elite Alliance. He says no, so I do once again the click of the fingers, and you attack him, beat the shit out. We lay him out.
Yeah.
No one's come to save the day for him. We already laid out Brian Lowe early in the show, which plants the seed for the Rebellion's formation. So let's just get to Wrestleution.
Yep.
First Wrestleution that we have. It's the biggest show that we've ever had, and you and Antilochus, as it stands today, for whatever fucking reason,
no idea,
to have over 10,000 views on YouTube.
That's crazy.
I don't know how many it's had. Probably over 11,000 now.
While we're talking, I'm going to look it up.
For some reason, that match has got so many views on YouTube, and it trounces every other. Like the next one's like 1,300 or something. You guys kill it. And I think it's because I've written in the description and the actual title, Extreme Rules Match. So people are typing in Extreme Rules for whatever reason. Yeah. Maybe the pay-per-view happened and people were looking it up. And
it's at the moment 13,000 views.
13,000 views! Shit! It's like that is the most viewed and watched match in WZWA history. Yeah. But you win the Backyard Championship.
I win the Backyard Championship.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
How do you feel about, our initial start to the feud with Brian Lowe and Antilochus before it became the Rebellion, and the match with Antilochus?
It was cool. I feel Antilochus and Brian Lowe were a good fit together because, once again, Brian Lowe was starting to have all these kinds of good matches. He was building himself up, not only in the sense of a storyline, but he was also building himself up in experience. When he was starting to wrestle the likes of you and Three Dog back in
He was so motivated at the time, man. He just he wanted to, because people didn't believe that he could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wanted to prove, and he wanted to prove that he could do it.
Yeah, and it was a really cool thing to see him and Antilochus get together because they were becoming friends and stuff, and they did stuff together that was just mind-blowing and awesome. They just worked really well together. Yeah, they were just an awesome team. So, first of all, to hear that we got to have a feud with them was cool because I always wanted to have a feud with have a couple of matches against Brian Lowe because
you did wrestle once in ICWS.
Yeah,
singles match.
We had a little thing and it was all right. I mean, we could have done better, but it was all right. But I always saw him as someone that as soon as you wrestle him, the next time you wrestle him, he'll just be tenfold better.
Yeah, and the first time I wrestled him was at my second match back. After returning, and I knew we had chemistry immediately. And as soon as I took over WZWA, I'll be like, he's the next guy. He's the next babyface champion. Yeah. I will win the title. He will be the one to take it off. Yeah. I already knew it from the offset, so...
And then I get told, okay, you're versing Antilochus for the Backyard Championship. And first of all, I was excited because everything that from that showcase that I saw in ICWS, I saw them, him and Jack Wallace do stuff. I was like, he's going to be awesome to verse. He's going to be so much fun. And he was. He was, for some reason, the most stiffest person I've versed. Actually, him and Delcano were quite stiff. But that's all right. I mean, I wasn't used to it at that point. So, he was giving me, back hits and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, dude, you're hitting me, dude. What's going on here? But it was cool. And it got me more motivated. It was a big...
It fires you up.
Exactly. It was a big-time match. And there was certain stuff that, I wish we could have done a tiny bit... Or actually, no. I was actually really happy with that.
I love that match.
Yeah, I remember there was one moment. There was the bit on the outside where he climbed to the top rope, and I was out on a table or the sign. I can't remember. I think it was a table. And his original idea was he was going to senton off onto me. Yeah. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh God, please don't do that. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. That's going to look sick. Who gives a shit? Do it. And then he got up, and he kind of pussied out, and he just went for a splash, which is fair enough. That's fine. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah. I mean, it's cool in writing, but when you get to it, it's like, oh my God. Yeah. So, but I mean, happens. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I have wrong with that match is, and it's on my fault, is the finish. After he did the splash, I practically no-sold it. I should have sold it a bit more, but what happened was we both got back into the ring, and I don't know where was like, yeah, I'm fine, cool, awesome, spin you around, game over, fuck yeah, I win. Okay. So I wish that I kind of built up a bit more of a ascending kind of thing to like finish it off.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I loved it. It was awesome.
So you win your first singles championship.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Awesome. Really cool. I mean, like, by that time, I'd already been doing it for, like, 2 years. I mean, I know that's not too much of a long time, but...
But for you, it seems like a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And first of all, to not have everything going too well, like, no plans for ICWS, it was cool to have a plan and to finally get... I felt that as, like, a reward.
Yeah. And you made your own championship.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's still hanging up in Jack Wallace's room.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still up above his window, you know, the bit that holds the curtains.
Oh, really?
That. Yeah, it's still up above there.
Okay, if I come back, I'm grabbing that off you, Jack.
Yeah,
I'm
you
taking
should
that
totally
home.
grab it and you should keep it with you. Because, I like that title. You made a very nice title.
Yeah.
And that was still at the time when the Backyard Championship was... people really put effort into making their own title. Antilicus made a good little title.
Yeah.
And then you made a great little title. And then Ryan made a
made
great
awesome title.
So, to anyone out there, Deacon, not talking to you, but let's not think about Kyle, because Kyle's championship was terrible. It was just Nick Ariel's title, which was Ryan's title with the piece of paper plastered onto it.
I'm sorry, but Nick's title was the best.
It was
just
awesome.
his fucking face.
Just his face. Oh man, that was my idea.
Good.
Alright, so you win your first championship, very good. We continue after the Rebellion. You've already spoke about how you feel about them, but there's a small moment where you have a little bit of a quick feud with Kilowatt Chaos.
Yeah.
I believe I can't actually remember, but I know you won one match, he won the other. But there were like online promos you made.
Yeah.
You mentioned his weight.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. You know, it was a very quick thing. Chaos in the Elite Alliance didn't last very long, but it was a little thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that came about, but it happened.
It happened. I think there was a match. That first match, I lost. And it was just like a singles. It wasn't for the title or anything like that. And I think it was just one of those spur of the moments. Chaos doesn't have a match. Alex doesn't have a match kind of thing. So let's just book them together. So after that, I think we worked really well together. And it was like, fuck it. Why don't we actually do like your first title defense kind of thing? Which I was happy with. Because that brought it around full circle as well. Like he was the first person I ever faced. So why not do like my first title defense against him? Which was awesome. And like the promos were sick because I was messaging him before. Before I was doing it, I was like, dude, just let you know, I'm going to say all this shit to you, by the way. Like, I'm going to give you so much shit about all this sort of stuff.
And someone got angry at you over mentioning his weight, didn't they?
Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
Jacob? Might have been Jacob.
Maybe.
Someone was like unhappy with what you said about it, but it was like, no, it's all good. He cleared it with him.
No, that's the thing as well. Like, even if I didn't clear it with Chaos, me and him could say anything about each other, like in a promo, and we know that we're like, it's a promo. Yeah. It's not how we actually feel about each other. Because like me and him are still to this day best friends, sort of thing. So like, I could say anything that I wanted to him about him, and he would do the exact same thing to me, and it would be fine. Yeah. So I mean, I cleared it with him just beforehand, just in case. But yeah, and it was cool because I put up that first promo, and instantly I got a one reply, and I was like, "That's cool.
Yeah,
this feels real."
And it was like
now.
You did one instantly after that, and then he did another one.
Yeah,
and it was like, wow, like these two are really gone.
Yeah,
all out to really make this seem important.
Yeah, and like I think me and him kind of felt like it was important as well, because like I said, it was like my first title defense. We faced each other first. So to us, it was like a coming around sort of thing, like full circle. So yeah, we wanted to make it a big deal, and I feel we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Aftershock, there's a couple shows after Wrestleution. Aftershock, the full Rebellion forms with Ryan Tate being a part of the group. Mm-hmm. Let's scoot a little bit forward to Hard Time 2, where you face Ryan Tate, you drop the championship to him. I don't know what the idea was behind the scenes. I remember that I was saying you're going to win the Aussie title at some point, but it didn't happen. Dynamo won it, but you dropped the Backyard Championship to Ryan. I don't remember the circumstances.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember it was being told, you're dropping the title to Ryan, and I was like, that's fine. I like Ryan. Because
I said to him, I was like, I wasn't sure if you thought this is a good idea. Maybe we should just drop it to Ryan, or I don't know.
Well, like You told me that we were gonna be dropping it to Ryan, and like in my head, I was like, I would like to keep it a bit longer
Because
reign.
that was
It's
the
fine.
plan. You were supposed to hold it for a while.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, for some reason, you dropped it to Ryan. I don't remember why. But
Well, like in all honesty, I felt like it's probably a good thing because it kind of that spurred the whole. In my mind, at least, that spurred the whole like okay, that gave you a reason to want Ryan into the EA kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if it happened any other way, then it's like, oh, we get Ryan for no reason, but Ryan beat Alex Stone. Ryan's, kind of better than Alex Stone, and Ryan's easy to manipulate. Maybe we get him in the EA.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was kind of a good idea. And in all honesty, like personal feelings, like I feel like Ryan was an awesome person to give it to because he's worked like as hard as I have, probably harder. So like if I deserved the backyard title, he deserved it 10 times more than me. So.
all right. Well, there's one thing I actually forgot to mention was Zeppelin joining the
Nice.
Alliance at Wrestleution. We were talking so much
Whoopsie.
about how many views it got and all this stuff, but we did the big, screw job in the main event
Yeah.
where Zeppelin, after he'd been feuding with us all this time and he hadn't had a contract, he comes out, he pretends to hit you in the gut with the chair, and then wipes out low and joins the Elite Alliance. Your memories of that moment. I got the championship, you got the backyard championship, we got Zeppelin with us, the first, real three. I mean, let's not count Wicked Nick at this stage, but the first real 3 members of the Elite Alliance were standing up on that stage at the end. I'm holding my championship up, you're holding yours up, Dan's there.
Yeah.
That. What did you think of Dan being into the EA?
That moment was awesome because, like, when I think of WZWA, I think of like your booking and stuff like that, and then I also back then I was like, you're the head of WZWA. When I thought of ICWS, I thought of obviously DJ, and then Chris Zeppelin was going behind the scenes where he was going away from it, so I thought of Dan Zeppelin. So it's like I was with the 2 heads of both places that I was wrestling for.
Yeah.
The things that were getting me going. And I was in a faction with you 2, and it was the best feeling. I was like, this is cool. This shows to me that I'm something and I'm doing something right, or else I wouldn't be here, sort of thing. So it was a really cool feeling, and just to be able to work with Dan as well. Like ever since I joined ICWS, me and Dan got closer and closer, and me and him became good friends. So to be actually able to work with him was awesome. So I was really excited to find out that he was the next member. I was really excited.
All right, so let's skip a bit forward now. You've lost the belt to Tate.
Yep.
I've lost the belt to Lowe.
Uh-huh.
So shit isn't going right for the Elite Alliance, but we get to War Games Autumn Brawl.
Oh, yeah.
2013 features myself, yourself, and Dan Zeppelin against the Rebellion of Antilicus, Brian Lowe, and Ryan Tate. And we have the big heel turn. I know you heard the podcast with Tate about how he pitched the idea to turn heel. And so I thought it was pulled off great. And it was another great moment for the Elite Alliance to have our 4th member now.
It was good because, like, we were taking all the kind of, like, baby faces at the time. Like, and it got to the point where people were getting sick of people joining the EA, which
is ridiculous considering it's only the 4th person.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but at the same time, I feel like that's what we would have been trying to go for, because like people are getting sick of the EA. We're heels. That's what we want.
Oh, it's always EA Rebellion. EA Rebellion.
Yeah. So I was very, very happy with how that went down as well. I mean, I had my friend, the drummer of Vice Versa, and his fiance. They were in the crowd for that. It was the first time watching.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was the first
Callum?
time. Callum, yeah, Callum and Brooke. The first time watching an event, and I mean, Brooke's semi into wrestling. Callum, not at all. Like,
oh, really? Never.
not
really?
at all. Like me and him.
Because I remember talking to him at the event. It's like, what do you think? And he's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, he might have watched a bit of it as a kid, but like a classic example is he came over to write some music, and it was the day of WrestleMania 30. And I was watching... No, WrestleMania 31. And I was watching it, and it was, Undertaker vs. Bray Wyatt. And I was explaining to him the whole, like, the Undertaker was, like, this big thing, and now he's coming back from losing the streak. And he just was trying his absolute best to ruin the moment for me, because he knew, like, it was a big deal, and he was like, oh, yeah. he's not really dead and all this sort of shit. So yeah, he's just not into it at all. He doesn't understand it, which is fair enough. But he said that match was awesome. He loved that match.
That was probably, we only had 2 War Games. I don't think there's going to be a third. It's too late now. It's not winter. It's winter now. It's not autumn anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think there'll be a War Games. Maybe until next year. We'll see. But the only times it really called for it was the last 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great match, and Ryan got over as a heel immediately, legitimately, because he fucking smashed Jacob in the face with the fucking light tube. Pardon me. I am getting sauced right now. I'm on these big pints of Sierra Nevada Torpedo, which is an IPA, which is about 6-point-something%, and I'm quite wasted at the moment. But I'll get through the rest of this.
Well, I'm sitting here in my Strongbow
You're
cider.
on your 5th, so you're in the 4th Strongbow. There's one more in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're doing good. All right, so Tate's joined the Elite Alliance, but then we have this mini feud with you and Ryan Tate, because the first match we have is Tate taking on Lowe for a TLC match, and Lila joins the Elite Alliance.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on Lila joining?
I thought it was cool. I thought
It was a great swerve.
Yeah, it was cool, first of all, to finally have someone, a girl, be involved in the WZWA. And I couldn't think of a better person than Lila. And I was kind of keen to see how the whole thing would turn out with, her against Ryan sort of thing. But then at the same time, as soon as she turned and joined the EA, I was like, that's cool.
She took off she unzipped her jacket and pulls out the EA shirt. It's just like, fuck yes. We got him again.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like 2 shows in a row, we got him.
Exactly. And it was awesome because, she, even now to this day, or back in the EA, she was always over. But, before she joined the EA, she was over and the crowd loved her because, it's a girl wrestling for WZWA or involved in WZWA. And then, as soon as she joined, it was just cool because, all hope's gone. We fucking got you guys again. We've got another person.
It was like we're the king of the swerve at the moment.
Yeah.
We swerved you with me and Alex joining forces. We swerved you again with Dan Zeppelin.
Yeah.
We swerved you again with Ryan Tate. And now, once again, we do it with Lila. I mean, fuck, I'm so proud of this era,
dude.
I mean, just thinking about it now, I'm so proud of what we accomplished.
Yeah, dude. It was really, really cool. And, I don't know if Lila would have, I don't know. I think Lila needed Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. Because I remember Jacob and Lowe saying to me, "We don't want Lila, us two and Lila. It won't work." And I'm like, "No, it's okay. Don't worry. She's gonna be with us. We're gonna just do this thing where we swerve everyone, and she's gonna join with us." So now the EA makes 5 now.
Yeah.
We've got 5 people, and
It's taken over.
And I know Lila's not your stereotypical fucking pretty young lady with slim little body, but she's badass, man. I mean,
Dude.
She kicks it. Anytime you ask her to do anything that's physical, she's gonna fucking lay it in there.
That's
laying into Shinigami Rex Rig and beating the fucking shit out of her.
Yeah, I think that's what made me happy.
Yeah, she fucking knocked my head off. I mean, holy shit, Lila's awesome, man. And I have so much respect for her because she no matter what I pitch to her, she's keen. Doesn't matter. Even if she's a bit apprehensive, she's like, I can do this.
Exactly, and
hitting Low on the back of the chair.
Yeah.
She'll do it.
The funny thing is, I've always thought ever since. I mean, I've known Lila since primary school. Me and her used to go to the same primary school. She used to be obviously a couple of years younger than me and stuff. But ever since joining WZWA, I felt like she's more interested in showing off what she can do than the majority of the people in the WZWA roster. She's up for anything at all, whereas other people will be like, oh, I think we could do this better, or nah, that doesn't sound like me.
Hey, she's going to go on a date with Esqueleto. I mean, if she can agree to that, she can agree to anything.
Exactly. So, I have... Lila's always an absolute awesome person to be around. I mean, some events we don't talk, but every single time I see her, it's just awesome, and she's so cool. So yeah Lila's awesome.
And I remember before we were doing this big thing, she had us all backstage, and we had a group hug, and she was as she was like about to do this thing, she got us together and she was like, "Oh, guys,"
Yeah.
she gave us this big hug, and I was like, "Wow, it really means something to her to be a part of." It's just a fictitious faction. But
Yeah.
she's so keen, and
Yeah.
I was really proud of that.
Nah, it's good.
But going forward, we got this little thing with you and Ryan. You both keep screwing up.
Mm.
You do a 3-way for the championship for Brian Lowe's heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
You both lose, and then the next show we get to you and Tillicus
yeah.
and Ryan. Pardon me. In a triple threat for the backyard title, you tap out.
Yep.
Ryan doesn't officially lose the championship by tapping out. You tap out for him.
Yep.
And Tillicus is the new champion. I don't know where this was supposed to lead. I don't know if there was actually supposed to be a singles match, because after this you missed a couple of shows.
Yeah, I think so. The original plan for this was just before. I think it was around the time that Ryan joined. It's not that I had anything against the Elite Alliance. I was just like, I want to try a face run for a while. So I approached you and I said, "Hey, dude, is there any chance that somewhere in the future we can maybe put me as a face? So, like, you know, once we've got all this shit done with Elite Alliance, we can, like, put me as a face. We'll figure it out in the end," sort of thing. And you came up with the idea of, well, how about you and Ryan have this kind of, like, back and forth action of, like, you know, and then I kind of turn, like, you turn to Ryan and kind of treat him as, like, the new number 2.
He's the new number 2.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, kind of thing happens. So, I really liked that whole working with Ryan and then also, like, Brian and Jacob and Zirkus, because it was just fun to kind of just work on that side of me, to kind of put a bit of something that I've never done before. And, I mean, I was still a heel, but I was showing off a bit more facey sort of stuff, which was cool. So, and then, yeah, I guess, I can't remember what happened.
Well, what was the issue? Because I was worried that you were losing motivation at the time.
I don't know if it was motivation. I think, in all honesty, I think it was about the same thing that was going on with Dan at his point. I think it was just relationship, stuff like that was going on, but then also at the time I had work, I had, like, all that sort of stuff. So I was just busy. So I think...
So it wasn't anything like you weren't happy with what was happening?
No, not at all. I think I was just burnt out, to be honest. I think I just needed, like, a break to get away for a bit. I think I missed, like, 2 shows or something.
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, like, 1 show, then you came back, then the next show you were back.
Yeah, it might have been something like that. Because I remember there was supposed to be, like, me and you or me and Ryan in a tag match against someone. Or maybe that was ICWS.
Oh, no, we're going a bit later in the year where me and you were supposed to face Mykonos and 3 Dog for the tag team titles, but Dan ended up taking your place, and it was me and Dan.
That's right,
against
yeah.
them.
That was later on. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and that was supposed to start the whole thing where, you know, we didn't win the tag titles after winning Tag Team of the Year the previous year. But the whole thing was, you know, you screwed up, but that's okay, we'll work through it, kind of thing, and then move towards the Circus Royale thing in December. But, okay, so we got the mini feud with Tate. That's gone over quite well, I think. You know, I think everyone's quite interested in this little... All of a sudden, there's some issues in the Elite Alliance. So going forward, you return. What a show this is for you, man. This is, and there's some twists and fucking turns in this one that no one, not even I, the booker, saw coming. We start off the show, Christmas Carnage 2013, and we do the bachelor party. The whole bachelor party. We got all the booze on the table. Alex Stone, the best man, is throwing together this bachelor party. And I think during this time we must have fucked over Circus Royale at some point. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't know what it was, but we must have fucked them over. Oh no, maybe it was just because we were wrestling them later that they decided to interfere. Maybe that was
something like that actually.
But anyway, the bachelor party.
Yeah.
So okay, this is insane. This bachelor party, things happen that weren't supposed to happen. So we do the bachelor party and we go out there and I say, okay, this is what we're going to do to piss everyone off. We're just going to hang out for a little bit. And just, it'll be like 10-15 minutes of us just hanging out and having a few drinks, and then all of a sudden you want to do the striptease. So
yeah.
So how your memories of this? I mean, it's such a great time.
Christmas Carnage was this Christmas Carnage was probably one of my favorite events. Not just because of like how big it was for me, but like it was just so much fun getting to do. actual stuff that I felt was, you know, like when I first started getting into wrestling, it was the Attitude Era, so I saw, like, you know, all those scenes of, like, The Rock, This Is Your Life, and, like, you know, like, McMahon in the hospital and all that sort of stuff. So the funny side of wrestling, so to be able to do that, like the bachelor party and then later on the wedding and all that sort of stuff, it was just fun because we just got to just hang out and just chill and then have fun with it. We just got to make shit up.
It was even more fun when, you know, we do the bachelor party and you sit me down in the chair and I'm supposed to have some sort of fucking, you know, big-titted fucking stripper dance on me, and all of a sudden Circus Royale come out with steel chairs, they run you guys off, and I'm waiting there because they're clowns, they're supposed to be clowns, I'm waiting there, they put 2 balloons in front of me and I'm like, oh, that's fucking sick, that's heaps sick, and then all of a sudden fucking Hank. What do you think when you see Hank fucking pop up?
I think
Hank the dog, for anyone who's not aware, Hank is like, I don't know, Jack's uncle's dog. He started biting at the balloons and popped one of them.
I mean, like, I feel...
You can't write that.
You can't, exactly. I feel like it would have been cool to go the way that we planned, but to have Hank involved and do what he did, it just made it 10 times better.
Yeah.
It made it more kind of like DIY, which is what backyard wrestling is supposed to be about. Like, not everything's supposed to go perfectly. And that went exactly... Like, I saw Hank messing about and, like, hanging about and jumping on you and stuff. I was like, oh, this is going to ruin the segment. And then he popped the balloon and everyone went off. I was like, that's cool. All right. Everything's all right.
Yeah.
So, and then it all went through, you know, the 2 guys gave you the pie to the face and it still went well. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. Like, I was really happy with how it went.
Awesome. So then we go to the match with Circus Royale.
Yep.
We lose the match.
Mm-hmm.
I blame you.
Yep.
Kick to the gonads. Kick you out of the Elite Alliance. You're no longer my best man. Ryan Tate is.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we'll, you know, alright. Good match with Circus.
Yeah, it was.
It was alright wrestling them. They're still young at the time, still, you know, getting their feet wet at the time. But, big win for them.
Gotcha.
Beating the 2012 Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a big moment for them. So from there, we move forward into the night where we have the Crude wedding. where I get married.
Yes.
So, alright, take me through your memories of that segment, your theme music hitting as Dan Zeppelin, the celebrant, says, if anyone thinks these two should not be wed, speak now, for have all your peace. So, take your memories through that. Try and hold on as long as you can while I do a wee.
Yeah, sure. So, I remember all I heard was Dan Zeppelin say those exact words, would anyone, like these two to not be married, whatever the hell. And as soon as he says that, I hear everyone go off and yell out, no, boo! And part of me was scared because they wouldn't be able to hear my music or, it wouldn't be a big deal. But then that iconic, we all know, kicks in. And everyone goes crazy. It's probably my most favorite and fond WZWA memory because of the reaction that I got. Just everyone losing their mind, everyone jumping around, coming up to me. I was supposed to come out real serious and just, everything was supposed to be a serious topic and stuff. Yet the reaction that I got and everyone just losing their minds, I couldn't help but smile because I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, people are loving this.
Just such a good moment.
Yeah. It was just so...
I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Everyone knows what's going to happen, but, it's a lead up to it, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, yes. And then I get into the ring, do the whole acting, we're cool, I want to get your friendship back, congratulations, all that sort of stuff. Kick you in the nuts, give you a game over, and I still can't get over Belle hitting me with a bouquet. That's fucking hilarious. I didn't even feel it. I looked back on the recap after it was released. I was like, that happened? What the fuck? It was perfect. But that couldn't have gone down any better. I also remember Johnny V, classic, his comments making me laugh the whole time. Once again, I was trying to be serious, but I couldn't stop because he was just not shutting up with all his stupid comments, which is awesome.
You son of a bitch! How could you? You son of a bitch!
But it was just one of those, like I said, it's my favorite moment in WZWA that I've had because it was just perfect.
Me too, man. One of my favorite moments. Just such a good segment.
And
this was all because Belinda said to me one day, "Oh, we should do a wedding, a wrestling wedding." And then as soon as you said it, I was like, "That's it. You're all in. We're doing it." Like it just the wheels started turning, and I was like, "That is the perfect way to turn Alex babyface."
Yeah.
You went from being, I would say I was the top heel, but Ice was up there as well because he was the champ. But you went from being one of the top heels to number one babyface.
Yeah.
Within a matter of moments, just your theme song hitting turns you into babyface.
Yeah, that was cool.
And, alright, so the next part is just insane. This is something that I did not fathom. This is the semi-main event, just before Ice takes on Phaser for the Heavyweight Championship. Brian Lowe takes on Rex Regan, who is the current GBYWN Aussie champion at the time, in a match for the championship. This is all, during the Rebellion versus Black Carnival feud.
Yep.
Rex does a moonsault, lands on his fucking finger, fucking breaks his his finger's like on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Which is just horrible for him, because he's going to win the Battlefield Brawl to face Ice at Wrestleution. So within the same show, Black Carnival and Elite Alliance, we're going to have one of their main members split from them.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Chris has to go to the hospital to get his, arm in a sling or whatever it was. And I don't know what the fuck to do. What were you thinking when you saw that?
First of all, I saw him do the moonsault, and I heard him scream out in pain. And then I heard, I think it was either Tim or it was someone else, or one of the originals.
It must have been Low or
someone like that. Like, his finger's broken, look at it, and people screaming sort of stuff.
No, it must have been Tim.
Yeah. And as soon as I heard that and them describe what the finger is, I can't take blood, disgusting body things, like things like that.
I don't like it.
I can't do it. So as soon as I heard there, I tried to get as far away as I could. I think I probably even locked myself in the toilet for a bit. Like, I didn't want to see his finger until he left.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I just couldn't take it.
To that point. It's a broken finger. This is the worst injury I've ever seen at the time. Within, 13 or 14 years of backyard wrestling, worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and, even, people were posting pictures of his finger on the thread, and I had to, I was tempted to just, leave the thread for a while until it all died down, because I didn't want to see it. But, I come out to a flustered Aston Crude. He's like, "Fuck, what's going on?"
I don't know. I'm like asking Chris, "What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
Are you going? You can't do the. There's no way you can't do the brawl."
Yeah.
And the look on his face is just like, "Oh my god." Yeah. He's devastated because it's like the biggest opportunity of his wrestling career.
And I feel terrible, but I also feel that it was probably the most fortunate accident to happen.
I 100% agree. I think in some twisted way the wrestling gods looked down and said, "This shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It should be saved for another time."
Yeah.
Because whatever they did eventually was great. But all of a sudden I come up to you and I'm like, "You're winning the Battlefield Brawl."
And
I didn't even... you were just the first... I was just like, Alex has got to win it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in hindsight, we shouldn't have even had a match at Wrestleution. We should have forgot about that.
Oh,
I'll wrestle Rusty. You wrestle Ice in the main event. Just focus on that. But anyway, you find out you're winning the Battlefield Brawl. Now you're going to Wrestleution.
The instant thing that I had was, I feel so sorry for Chris because, he misses out on this huge opportunity. But in my head, when I found out that Chris was actually winning, I was like, well, I didn't really want him to win in the first place. Because, I'd love to see that combination of him and Ice, but I feel like it wasn't told well enough at the moment. It should have been told more, and it should have kept
That's when I
going.
was getting burned out with booking.
Exactly, yeah.
100%. And when we get to Hard Time 3, that's when I'm definitely...
Yeah.
I think I'd done some good decisions that day, but at the same time, I was burned out.
Yeah. So, I think they needed to tell the story more. And I think, sure, Resolution would have come... Yeah, exactly. I feel like the next event after Christmas Carnage was Resolution, and it would have been, finished off right there.
Yeah.
And I think they needed more than that. Whereas, I think when you came up to me and said, okay, you're going to be winning it, and I had an idea of how it was going to go down, me and Ice was going to go, and I feel we could have a feud, and then once Chris was ready, like he'd come back, and then there'd be something between us three. That was my initial idea of what was going to be happening. But you come up to me, you tell me you're winning, and my instant thought is, oh, fuck, cool, awesome, sweet, awesome. I don't know what's going to happen from here, but sweet, cool. Because I was still thinking about like the plan that we had from the start. Like, it's probably still going to happen, but this is just another little thing that's going to happen on the side. And it was kind of cool at the same time, because it kind of got me back into wrestling ice. And, I mean, I had fun with the Battlefield Brawl as well. I mean...
And let's stay with the Battlefield Brawl before we get to ice. The final moment when you suplex me over the top rope and I land on the outside, I blow my left knee out.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck my knee up royally.
Sorry.
This is when I just debuted for AAW. I could have wrestled for them within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about AAW because, as we know, my AAW career fell quicker than DJ running the 110-meter hurdles.
Perfect.
So we go to Wrestleution now, okay? So you've won the Battlefield Brawl, I've blown my knee out. Anyway, let's get to Wrestleution.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I've got Rusty coming over from Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer now. In the GBYWN and Aussie Backyard Wrestling. The first person to win both. I've got to wrestle him. He's staying with me for 4 or 5 days. We've got all that time to plan out our match. I'm really excited for it, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck. Now me and Alex have got another match. I've got to wrestle him. Alex has also got to wrestle in the main event. We can't really give him everything now. Whereas initially, the idea was me and you for the commissionership.
Yeah.
If I won, I'm the commissioner. If you lose, then you have to stay in the Elite Alliance and be my little bitch, basically. But then you'd, like, on the inside, fuck me over. So that went out the window.
Yeah.
So I just forgot that idea, and I lost by count out. We gave him a taste.
Yeah.
But we both hurt our knee in the same match.
Exactly. I mean, I think...
This is Wrestleution 2. This is the biggest event that we've been waiting for since you wrestled Angelica and I wrestled Low.
Yeah.
We finally clashed.
I mean, we already had this built up for like a whole year in advance. Probably even longer than that. And in the circumstances that we had, I honestly don't think it could have gone better. Maybe we could have put on a bit more of a showcase kind of thing, but I think
everyone is expecting more.
Yeah, but I think we put on enough for people to kind of get psyched for a next encounter.
Whatever was going to come.
Exactly, because it finished in a way of you getting out by countdown, just leaving. It showed people like, they are going to wrestle in the future.
That's a taste. We'll see what comes.
Exactly. So, I mean, like, obviously, we both had more important matches to do.
So I blow my knee out. I've got to wrestle Rusty.
Yeah.
Match could have been better. He wasn't in the best shape.
No. Yeah.
So he had to call the match short. He was supposed to miss a fucking Phoenix Splash or something. Not a Phoenix Splash, but something crazy off the top rope. I was supposed to do a whole bunch of other things, but it was still a good match.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah.
And then I go over in that, which is all right for me, I suppose. But I was supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to beat you and then lose to Rusty.
Yeah.
But because you weren't going to win the main event, I changed my mind. I was like, well, I can't do that now. We'll have a count out. I'll leave. He wins. I'll beat Rusty because he wants me to win for whatever fucking reason. Rusty wanted me to win.
No idea.
So we go to the main event. I'm special referee. I've got the best seat in the house. I thought it was a great match. Ice wasn't that hot on it, but
yeah, I mean,
I love the moonsault reversal into the fucking game over.
That was cool.
That was a great move.
There was a lot of moments in the match that I really, really liked, and then there was a lot of moments in the match where I feel like we probably could have planned it better.
I mean, this is the main event of Wrestleution, so you're obviously going to look negatively on things because you're supposed to be the big...
Exactly. And also, I feel like my performance was a bit taken down because of the knee.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I'm happy with the match. I mean, once again, it was a bit of a taste because, obviously, me losing to him, and in the way that it happened, means that something else is gonna happen from it. So I was okay with it being not the best of matches. I would have liked it to be a bit better than it was, I guess. But
that should have been Christmas Carnage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the big one should have been Wrestleution. But hey,
I mean, things happen.
Things fall in the place that they do.
Exactly. So, but I mean, I said in the ITWS one, I love wrestling Ice. He's so much fun, and I trust him with everything that I do. So, But yeah, I mean, maybe that one could have been a bit better, but we had better matches. So, that's cool.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I thought the finish of the match was very fucking
Awesome.
strong.
Awesome.
I came up with that literally days before the event.
Mm.
I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Everyone's going to think that I swerved everyone and then Alex is still in the Elite Alliance. No.
Yeah.
No. It's, Ice choke slams me because I accidentally hit him.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, while I'm fucking checking on my eye, you lock in the line tamer.
Mm.
Ice hasn't tapped out.
Mm.
I go to him, I look at him, and then I go like that.
Yeah.
I ring the bell, and you think you've won. Everyone thinks you've won. Everyone thinks I've screwed everyone over, and you've screwed everyone over, and the Elite Alliance is back together full force. No.
No.
You win by disqualification because I got choke slammed. All because I looked down at him and I rang the bell afterward. He didn't tap out.
No, not at all.
And that was the best swerve. And once again, you're involved. We swerved everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. And I like that. The whole, facing... the psychology of it, facing Ice away from the crowd. It's, that's the good moment of having the crowd all kind of on one side. Because no one got to see if he actually tapped out. I mean, And that was a huge moment because, people were like, wait.
Because I told you guys the exact corner that I get elbowed.
Yeah.
The exact way that Ice has to face.
Yeah.
I'm involved in this match as much as you guys are telling you how it goes.
And, because everyone's like, wait, did Ice tap out? What the fuck's going on? Oh, my God. And then it's like, wait, no, something bad. Everyone was just left in confusion. And then it all just got cleared up and everyone was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
And once again, as you're saying, this is what you love.
Exactly.
Storytelling.
Exactly.
A swerve.
Mm.
A great way to swerve people is to do exactly that.
Yeah.
They think maybe he did tap out. We didn't see it because he's facing the other direction.
Mm.
But of course, if it was going to be a real fucking tap out, we would have him fucking facing the crowd.
Exactly.
But, we got to keep him guessing. And
Yeah.
I was really proud of what we accomplished in that match.
I mean, I try to make sure with my wrestling, if I like having a good match, but if my storytelling comes before my performance, in a sense. I'd prefer to tell a good story than just put on a full-on WrestleFest sort of thing. I mean, that's more me. That's more of what I do. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I feel like that whole entire match was good, and it's a perfect example of that. It wasn't the best of matches, but the outcome of the match was perfect in
the storytelling really made it what it was.
Exactly.
All right, well, look, we're an hour and a half into part 2.
Yeah.
It's because we keep going on these fucking tangents.
Yeah.
Let's hope that we can get an hour and a half out of part 3. But I think we should take a break.
Yep, that's cool with me.
Because you're on your 5th.
And I really need a piss.
You need a whiz. You need a whiz. I've already had 3 pisses. You haven't even had one. So we're going to give Alex a little bit of a break. Thank you once again for listening. Thank you again, Alex.
Thank you.
Was great insight so far. This is the GBYWN Australia podcast. We'll get to part 3 with Alex Stone for the end of his WZWA career and the future, and we're going to have a Q&A with the boys, so hopefully this doesn't go over an hour and a half. We only got to Wrestleution 2. We still got a whole year to go
yeah,
through.
we do.
Plus the Q&A. Who knows how many questions are there now. So Thank you for listening, and we'll be with you part 3. Thank you.